You're about to see why that $5 rotisserie chicken can cost you a lot more than money. We found 7 grocery chains where the fresh bird often means salt-loaded, lamp-baked, and older than you think. Stay with me. We'll pull deli doors open, check temps, and decode labels, so you know which counters to skip, what questions to ask, and how to spot the real thing before dinner turns into a health gamble. What if that fresh bargain bird includes a built-in water bill? Up to a chunk of what you're paying for isn't meat at all. It's salt water carried along for the ride. Let's start with how the trick works. Many grocery chickens arrive pre-injected or get seasoned in a way that traps water. Salt and additives pull moisture in, bind it, and keep it from leaking out as it cooks. That keeps the meat moist and bumps the weight. Moist and heavy sounds great until you realize you're paying deli prices for brine. Labels try to sound friendly: fresh, seasoned, herb rub. The truth is in the fine print. Serving sizes shrink while the sodium per bite climbs. A label that looks harmless at a glance can hide a salt bomb when you add up what you actually eat. Here's your quick decode. Flip to the nutrition box. Find sodium per serving. Then look for how many servings the whole chicken claims. Multiply. If the math seems light, scan for phrases like solution added, flavor enhancer, or phosphates. Solution added means brine. Flavor enhancer is a salt booster. Phosphates help the bird hold water like a sponge. One line of copy tells you more than the glossy photo on the front. Consumer-style investigations have flagged wide sodium ranges in store birds, and dietitians warn that high sodium pushes blood pressure higher over time. That's not fear-mongering. It's basic physiology. Your heart and arteries keep the tab. Now the store-to-store split. Big box value birds often lean on heavy brining because it keeps the price low and the meat juicy even after hours of holding. Lighter seasoned options exist, but they usually cost more per pound or taste plainer. And here's the real kicker. When brine is weight, your price per pound shifts. That cheap tag is not so cheap if a chunk of it is salt water. You'll also see allegations around saline injections and additives used to hold moisture, plus MSG-like boosters tucked into chicken flavor. These aren't there by accident. They smooth out bland meat, cover age, and keep you coming back for that savory hit. It's fast food logic inside the deli case. Add it up and a $5 deal can hit a day's worth of sodium before you touch sauce, salad, or bread. You don't taste a number, but your blood pressure does. That's the quiet cost of convenience. So which counters lean on salt water? The usual value leaders and mass-produce operations. The birds with solution added, long ingredient lists, and that bouncy, almost wet texture. How much sodium are you eating? Grab the label, scan the sodium per serving, multiply by servings. If the total looks like a full day, it is often a full day. Use that tool on the spot and you won't need a spreadsheet. Your wallet pays for chicken. Don't let the salt ride free. Now let's move on to the other half of the trap. Time and temperature, the slow bake under a heat lamp. How long is long? Try hours under a lamp, long enough that the clock matters more than the recipe. Let's start with the only number that counts at the counter, 140 degrees Fahrenheit. That's the safe holding line. Above it, cooked chicken stays out of the danger zone. Drop under it, and you invite bacteria to wake up and multiply. Stores are supposed to track this with temperature logs, a simple sheet or tablet record that shows when staff checked and what they found. When the lamp runs hot, fine. When it sags, you won't see steam, you'll see risk. Now the part you don't see. Early morning mass cooks mean racks of birds rolled out long before lunch. Then they sit. Heat lamps dry the skin and lull you into thinking, hot equals safe. But safety depends on temperature control, not the glow. When inspections catch cases below that line, it's because life on a busy deli line gets messy and checks slip. The meat doesn't care about excuses. Walk the counter like a pro. Ask, when was this batch cooked? Not, are they fresh? Ask for the newest tray. Look for a case thermometer and read it yourself. If there isn't one, that's an answer. You can also ask to see today's temperature logs. Calm voice, straight face. Either they have them and show you or they don't. Reports describe birds held for extended stretches and quality checks delayed during rushes. That's when timers get reset, pans get shuffled, and the line moves faster than the rules. The truth is, time turns from helper to hazard when the clock runs hours past peak. Let's talk pink near the bone. Pink does not always mean undercooked. Bones and marrow can tint the meat even at a safe cook temp. But finishing under a lamp is not cooking. A lamp holds heat. It doesn't bring a cold center to 165 degrees Fahrenheit. If the thigh joint wasn't fully cooked in the oven, the lamp won't fix it. Health codes set limits. Hot-held foods need to stay above 140 degrees Fahrenheit, and many departments cap how long they can sit before disposal. Reheating rules require that if food drops below safe, it must be reheated fast to a higher internal temperature. In a deli, rushed reheats turn into dried birds that still may not hit the target evenly. That's how you get meat that's both stringy and unsafe. Here's the real kicker: chicken roulette. New birds mixed with old to fill a tray. Old birds chopped into salads and soups. Dates swapped or buried under stickers. If a bird hits the floor, what happens next depends on who's watching. The display looks fresh. The backstory isn't. Payoff time. Now you know how long that bird might sit and what happens when temps dip. Your move is simple. Ask for the newest batch, read the case temp, and if they won't show logs, walk. Hot should mean safe, not staged. Now let's move on to what the big names don't advertise when convenience gets staged as made fresh daily. Not all deli cases play the same game, but 7 chains keep surfacing for the wrong reasons. The patterns repeat. Salt injection heavyweights that load birds so they hold water. Long lamp times that sandpaper the skin while the core drifts. Central kitchens that pre-cook, ship, and finish in-store for the made-here look. And sloppy cross-contamination when the rush hits and the tongs do double duty. The trade-off is neat on the sign and ugly on the tray. A low price can hide brine weight, hours on a hotline, and quick makeup tricks. A gloss of oil for shine, a dusting of paprika for color. You get a stage set, not a roast. Let's start with Walmart. The draw is volume and price, and that often means mass early batches rolled out before the lunch wave. Those trays can sit under lamps until the dinner crowd. The birds skew salty and wet, a sign of heavy brine. Your move: read the case temp, ask what time that batch left the oven, and don't grab the last lonely bird in a pan. Now let's move on to Costco. The value bird is famous, but value leans hard on saline weight. You'll hear about pink near the bone now and then. That's not the lamp cooking, that's timing. Ask for the newest tray. If they just swapped pans, good. If not, wait 2 minutes for a fresh pull. Kroger brings a different risk. Roulette trays, new mixed with old to keep the display full. A sweet edge in the seasoning hints at a sugar salt brine that plumps and masks age. Check for timestamps on the label or the case. Skip pans with pool juices. Liquid in the bottom often means long hold and a soggy skin. Safeway tends to finish and polish. Think baked off in-store, then brushed or sprayed for sheen. Uneven cook claims pop up when the finish window runs tight. Ask if the bird is from today, not today-ish. Verify the hot holding temp on the case, not just the glow of the bulbs. Stop and Shop often leans on central pre-cook. The bird arrives cooked, then gets a finish pass to fit the fresh sign. Sodium per chicken runs high when a solution is part of the process. Ask where it was cooked. If the answer slides to our kitchen, press which one, here or a central facility. The pattern sticks across these counters. Briny, held, staged. You don't need a lab coat to cut through it. Ask 3 things and watch the faces. When was this cooked? What's the sodium per serving? Can I see the temp reading? Clear answers earn your money. Evasion earns a walk. You now know which counters to avoid for salt and time risks, and how to test the tray in front of you in under a minute. So what is the takeaway? How do you eat well without playing deli roulette? Convenience is fine, as long as you control the salt and the clock. If the counter won't show when it was cooked or how much sodium is in a serving, that's your answer. Walk away. Your dinner shouldn't come with mystery math and a glowing heat lamp story. You can flip the script at home. Season a whole bird with simple herbs and spices. Roast it until the internal temp hits safe, and you set the sodium, not the deli. If this gave you something to chew on, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone shopping at 6 p.m. Then ask those 3 questions. Like and subscribe to help us keep the spotlight on the food industry's best-kept secrets.